So hey everybody, it's TR back with another RV how-to video, and today we're going to be getting this 2022 Jeep Gladiator Wheelies Edition ready to flat tow. Yeah, I am helping the guy that bought my Class A RV, Rusty, a 2004 Newmar Dutch Star. His name is Rick. Get set up to flat tow with it, and we're going to be flat towing this Jeep Gladiator. So today we're going to be putting the Blue Ox BX1145 tow bar base plate on. I already had the Blue Ox tow bar that was included with the RV, and so it made sense to just do the base plate. We're also going to be installing an Invisibrake, which I'll show you in a minute. That is the braking system that's required whenever you tow 4 down. You need to have some kind of a breakaway braking system, and the Invisibrake from Roadmaster will give us that. And then we're also going to be installing the Blue Ox easy install wiring kit for the Gladiator. Comes with all the plugs and everything all ready to go. And again, I'll show you that when we get to it. This will be a 2-part series, and the first part we're going to be installing the base plate and the trailer wire connections, and then the second part will be installing the Invisibrake. Anyway, we're going to get started on this. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to remove this plastic belly pan, and then we'll remove some bolts, pull this bumper off. But let's go inspect the kit real quick and see what parts we have. So there's our base plate. All right, instructions, parts list, like all the mounting hardware. These are the pins that go in the bumper. These are some safety cables that we wrap around the tow bar and back to the frame. Couple mounting plates, couple of spacers, and then all these nuts to get into these blind spots in and up into the frame to be able to do the mounting properly. Whiz nut weldment with wire. So the rest of today's parts are the 7-pin trailer pigtail, and then of course we have a 7-way outlet. So the next part of this is the Blue Ox easy light wiring kit. This is for your trailer lights, so that you'll have lights on the Jeep when you're going down the road, brake, signal, and all that sort of stuff. So I'll have links in my Amazon store in the description below to all the parts and pieces we're using to do this install today. If you'd like to support the channel, remember, as an Amazon affiliate, I get a small commission. You pay the same price, but trust me, every little bit helps. So we're ready to go. Okay, then there's 2 bolts right up here. You see that? So now I'm going to remove these bumper bolts. I forgot to do something. This pan comes out. We need to get it out of the way. And let's see it. Oh yeah, it just slides up. Right here. Make sure you can see that. This plug needs to be disconnected. Okay, so I watched a couple of guys do this online, and one of the things that I recognized when they were doing this is that when you remove this plate right here, it's going to move. And I saw one guy wallow the holes out with a drill, which I didn't think was such a great idea. Another, apparently they must have had some trouble getting it to put back together, and so they had learned on their first one and clamped the second one. So I'm just going to take, and I think these are going to be big enough. That'll hold that bracket in place. Okay, so now the instructions say to slot this hole up to this bend, big enough to get this nut in. Let me show you. So we got to get this in here, and as you can see, you know, it's just a little bit too tall to go through there by just a hair. So in the instructions, they show cutting a slot like this. Okay, so I got kind of a wimpy Dremel. We'll see if it can handle that. Otherwise, I'll drill it. All right, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to paint these. So we got to remove a couple more bolts, and then we're ready to install the base plate. So now we're going to mount this bar up. Ouch, this tow bar up here. It goes in like this. I just need you to hold that side about right there. Okay, so it's hanging on these bolts right here. I didn't tighten them up completely because for two reasons. One, I'll need to get some red Loctite on them, but the other one, I want to have a little bit of flexibility to move this back and forth to get this stuff to line up. The 3/8 bolts with the spacer. So I got the Loctite on here. Here's the spacer. I'm going to go to this top hole. Oh, you turn it over so the holes line up. I'm lining this hole, this hole, this hole. Okay. There's always a learning curve on stuff like this. Vroom, 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 vroom. Frickin' chainsaws. They've been cutting these trees down over here for way too many days. Way too many days of chainsaw noise.
For proper installation, the kit requires that you drill a 1/2-inch hole to provide some additional bolting support for the base plate.
Let's bolt those in right here with the spacer. Don't forget the spacer. Excellent. And then in here. Got this one on the first try. That's the way these projects go. You live and you learn. All right, so now we need to torque these. Torquing specs according to this. I know these are grade 5. You see the 3 lines on the head of the bolt here. On the 3/8 grade 5, it says 33. 33. The 1/2-inch, 78. All right, we got this piece done. I'm not going to put the bumper back on just yet because we're going to chase the wires down for the trailer lighting setup. Now we're going to pull this tail light assembly out. And I don't know if I can get you down there so you can see. There's a red clip right here that I believe you can pull out, and then this should unplug. Sneak that back under there. Alrighty, so it wants to start on this other side. I don't see any double stick tape unless it's already on there. It's not. Fortunately, I have some. So I'm going to just clean that spot off right there. Okay, so let's see, sneak this in here, like this, and two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count, hold to a count of 30. Now it said yellow wire into the mating connectors on the driver's side taillight socket and the vehicle wiring harness. So I guess it's just a straight through thing. Alright, this dielectric grease, you just take a little bit of it, put it on these terminals, scrub it around. So come in here, do that. Okay, push that up. Alright, we'll put the tail light back in a minute after we fish these wires. Alright, so now this, we're just going to drop down through here to the underside. Fish these out. Okay, we'll clean all those wires up in a minute. I'm going to chase these over to the other side. I like to put a little tape on them. Just belt and suspender stuff. Remember I said some NICs will be your friend. Put just a little bit of this on these threads. Okay. Since this is going to be sitting down here in the water, it'll likely rust. And this NICs will allow you, if you have to in the future, get these links off without cutting them. We're hooking up these safety cables. Well, that's the way to do it. Awesome, and then it hooks right in here. Okay, then this cable hooks right here. Is it trying to rain on us?
Sure looks that way.
I thought I felt a little sputter here for just a minute. So hey everybody, it's TR back with day 2 of the Jeep Gladiator 4-down project. And we just ran out of time yesterday, as usual. I scheduled too much for a day. There was dual exhaust on the Jeep, and so I had quite the challenge of routing the trailer wires from the back of the Jeep to the front to keep them away from the heat. So what I ended up doing was locating a wiring loom that was running from the back to the front. but it was wrapped with heat foil to keep the heat away from it because the exhaust was all nearby. And so what I did was I tucked it in behind and against the frame to keep it away from the heat. So I think we'll be okay there. But that took quite a while. I used a lot of zip ties because I was worried about anything getting loose and hanging out there where it could get hot, which would eventually degrade the insulation on the wire and cause it to break, and I didn't want Rich to have any trouble. The other thing is Rich is in and out of yesterday's videos all day. He was really instrumental in getting a lot of stuff started. So he got the tail lights out so that I could just go and do the wiring. He took the door off and got the seat ready to come out. That kind of stuff. He helped me hold the bumper up or down, or hold up the new hitch, and all of that sort of stuff. So Rich, thank you for that. What I didn't get done was the rest of the body accoutrements put back on. We did get the bumper reinstalled last night. It went on pretty good once I kind of got it sorted out. It was kind of really weird. You had to tilt it down and kind of work it in, but I got it there and it's looking fine. Got her all torqued down to the factory specs. Okay, so now we've got to cut this bottom plastic base piece here. What I want to do is get you over here so you're not bouncing around. And then I just want to see if I make sure I've got this lined up properly. To me, to my eye, that body bolt hole is almost dead center on this plate. I need a little more light here. Alright, so we're just to one side and the other, so we're just the width of that hole. So that's what we'll cut. So I'm going to basically take the center line of that elongated hole, which is about right there. It needs to be a quarter wide. We're going to make it just a touch wider, so let's go a half. So we'll go here and here. Draw these lines up. Now I've got this fitting. Now I want to figure out how I come through here. I should probably put that breakaway in there. So we're going to move over here. I'm just mounting this fidget right here. I'm going to go through the top here with that bolt. Square to the bumper. Excellent. Now I'm going to have to fabricate a bracket for our 7-pin widget. Alrighty, so now what I have to do is I've got to fabricate a mount for this 7-pin connector with just a piece of angled aluminum, and we're just going to make a notch in it, the diameter of this. If I had a hammer, something or other. Alright. Now I think we're finally ready to saw. Do I have my glasses on? I do. I like it. Oh yeah, that's good. That's real good. So the battery ran down on my mic and I didn't catch it, so I didn't get the chance to catch it up on the end of this project. But as you can see, I got everything put back together. A couple things I wanted to note. So I ended up pulling the wires from the Invisibrake all the way up to the connector, and then I soldered those wires with the trailer tow wires that we installed from Blue Ox. I put terminals on it and then just finished the connection to the 7-pin. I also, not shown here, installed a charge wire from the battery down here, which is one of the reasons I went with the 7-pin connector, is so that I would have extra pins to provide charging while it's being towed down the road. That said, the project turned out great. We went out, we set it up, hooked it up, everything worked perfectly, so I was really happy with that. As a reminder, you can get all the parts and pieces for this from my Amazon store. There's a link in the description below. We used the Blue Ox BX1145 faceplate kit. We used the Blue Ox quick wiring trailer wiring kit, and everything turned out great. I'm super happy with the results. They're down the road. Everything is working great. So if you found value in this video, give me that thumbs up. I'll appreciate that. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Ring the notification bell. A lot of how-to videos still to come. As you can see, I'm standing in front of my next project here, where I've got this rotten wall finally tore out and getting ready to put this truck camper back together so I can use it. A lot of videos to come on that. Still several videos to come on the Dutch Star, getting it ready to go down the road with its new owner. So subscribe. You don't want to miss any of them. As always, your questions or comments are more than welcome below. If you have a question or a comment about the project, you think I did something wrong, well, it's kind of too late to tell me I did something wrong. But if you have a question about the project, go ahead and leave it below. I'd be happy to answer those. But for now, that'll have to do it. Thanks for watching. I sure do appreciate it. Till we get together for another how-to video. Peace.